We're a week away from part 1 of the Survivor 47 finale, so let's walk through my tier list outlining every remaining contestant's chances of winning. In my zero chance tier, we have a new addition in Teeny, who has dropped from my contenders tier last week. Prior to this episode, I considered Teeny a contender not for their strategic game. My belief in Teeny stemmed from their surrounding edit, as they were constantly portrayed in a positive light. Up until this week, it felt like the edit of Survivor 47 wanted us to root for Teeny. This episode completely changed my perspective as Teeny receives a villain edit. We see them bickering with Genevieve and later criticizing Sam's decision to take Andy on reward. Now, I don't think that Teeny has a single winning Final Tribal Council combination. If Teeny were to sit at the end, they get the jury votes of Saul and maybe Sierra. It's just not enough for me to believe in them as a winner. As for Sue, I actually feel the most confidence in her reaching the Final Tribal Council. I just don't think she has either the resume or the relationships necessary to win the season. From a strategic perspective, Sue has been excluded from 2 post-merge votes, and from an interpersonal perspective, it seems like the surrounding cast doesn't really respect Sue's game. This past week, when Rachel wins individual immunity, the Operation Italy Alliance needs to shift their target, and they never even consider flipping the vote on Sue because they don't perceive her as a threat. You also need to factor in Genevieve's comment last week describing Sue as an easy beat. Onto unlikely victories, where I have the 2 big threats of the game in Sam and Genevieve. I would love for these 2 to make a deep run, but I just don't see it happening. Their opposing alliance of Teeny, Sue, and Rachel holds 2 idols and a vote block. I don't see how these 2 can move around further without breaking up that tight-knit trio. Between Sam and Genevieve, I guess I'd have a bit more confidence in Sam due to his pre-merge edit. Genevieve has a clear storyline of learning how to connect with others, but that didn't come into play until the later post-merge. Just one contender for me in Andy. If I'm honest, the only 2 players that I could realistically see winning Survivor 47 are Andy and Rachel. Now, I've been high on Andy all season as he was my preseason winner pick. Prior to this week, my biggest concern with Andy was the jury's perception. It looked like Andy had an avenue to the end, but he would lose most Final Tribal Council combinations. The Caroline blindside at the final 7 served as a major stamp on Andy's resume. Now, I think Andy puts up a real fight against any other player in a jury vote. The Vegas favorite to win Survivor 47 remains Rachel, and that's not because I think she's playing this great game of Survivor. In fact, I think Rachel has either the 4th or 5th best resume out there. My belief in Rachel hinges on 2 factors. First, there's the general perception of Rachel as a jury threat. Other players see Rachel as someone with a lot of win equity. Second, there's all of her advantages. Going into the final 6, Rachel has a vote block and an idol. I'm already penciling in Rachel for the final 4 because she has the advantages to reach that point. From there, Rachel would potentially stand just 1 fire-making challenge away from winning the season.